What's up, everybody? Welcome to York Reacts, and today we're going to be checking out a new trailer called Witchfire. Now, this game has kind of been in development for a little while now. It's from a developer called Astronaut. They've been involved in some older games. I think it's called like The Vanishing of Ethan Carter or Disappearance of Ethan Carter, something like that. It's an older game they worked on, and so that's kind of give you a gist of kind of where they're from and what they've been involved in. I think they got picked up by Epic Games kind of a while back and kind of started this studio. So I'm excited to see what they do here. Just so you guys know, I'm a developer as well. I've been working on video games for a long time, and I do animation mainly for usually cutscenes and motion capture stuff. And so hopefully I can give you some cool insights basically on this trailer and something you've never seen in another video. So let's take a look, shall we? We'll let it play all the way through, and then I'll try to break down some shots. Whoa. Oh. Whoa, that was cool. Wow, look at all these effects. Dang, just a bunch of gunplay right here. Wow, that was it, huh? Okay, so that was short. It was sweet. Let's break down just a tad of this, okay? So I'm going to slow motion this. And let's go back through this trailer here. There's some stuff that I noticed right away, actually. So one thing that's kind of nice is it looks like they're starting to develop this in Unreal Engine. And hopefully they keep going with that, because Unreal Engine 5 could really push this game to the next level, I feel. Because right now it's missing a lot of high fidelity detail in some of these environments and textures, and some of these animations as well stand out to me a little bit. So if you look here, when he goes to jump, so in a game, some of you might not know this, but basically what happens is during the game, it has to blend to make a jump. And a lot of times when you're playing other players, when you're shooting an enemy, or when you're playing like player versus player, when you jump in the game, like when you press the button, you want the character to immediately jump, right? But if you do that in the game, the character will not bend down before he jumps, and so it will look really weird. And so sometimes people do that even on characters that they don't need to do that on. So for instance, this big character, he needs to bend down. He needs to get down and bend down on his legs and crouch down before he leaps up. But he doesn't do that. If you look here, when you play this, watch. See, he just pops up, and then he just kind of floats off, and his legs kind of spread out and stuff. You wouldn't see that. You would see like a galloping effect. When you leap out somewhere, your legs kind of gallop out. And so that part kind of stood out to me a little bit. You know, it's a little strange. But I really liked the camera transition they did here. So like when he thumps down and slams down, the camera shakes. And then you can see it shakes back into this next kind of frame, which is pretty cool. I liked that little aspect. So next thing that I noticed here was that when they shoot the weapon here against these enemies, you're not seeing... how do you say it? Bullet fragmentation like on the body or anything like that, right? You don't see damage happening to the armor. Now, in games like Red Dead Redemption and stuff like that, we went to high detail to basically capture like high fidelity images of like, what do you call it? Like 3D scanning basically, and photogrammetry of like actual weapons being shot into like the side of wood and into the side of drywall and into side of all these different like materials. And then we took photogrammetry and scans of those things, and we literally made it so that in Red Dead, when you shoot a tree, it fragments and looks just like when you shoot a tree with that weapon, because we literally shot a tree with that weapon, right? So we went to great lengths and detail to do that. But then again, a lot of these other companies, they're smaller. Like this developer here, this called Astronaut, there's like 3 or 4 guys here making this game, okay? So it's a lot different. They don't have these huge, massive budgets and teams of people going out and doing different stuff. So I'm not surprised not to see some of that detail, but it's just something I caught. I noticed, I thought, ooh, that would have been cool if you could see like the armor get damaged as you shoot him. it could be something they could do. They don't have to go and do photogrammetry, but it'd be nice to see that in the game. This is kind of crazy, this thing burning here. One thing, I don't know if it stood out to me though, but it looks like the top zombie, the top kind of dead person skeleton is like completely sunken through the wood instead of like laying on top of the wood and then like kind of laying over it. It looks like he just, the developer kind of just shoved him in there and it's like clipping through the wood, you know? But this game, it looks like there's some really cool effects in here. Like when you're playing, it looks really fun to be able to, you know, it feels a little bit like BioShock where you're using your hand a lot to control like effects and different kind of powers and abilities. That was really fun. I remember the first time I played BioShock 1, I loved how you could use your hand and do a bee swarm around someone, or dude, that was some cool shit. So I'm really excited to see what they do here with this game and the different effects that you can do with your hand. So like one thing I noticed is if you look here really closely, when he does this effect, I'm going to try to be able to capture this. It's going in slow motion. But if you look here, the enemy character is facing us. It's going, you know, and then as soon as the effect happens, see that? Boom. It switches and the character flips in one frame. And you don't want to see that. You want to, because when you trigger that effect, you want to see him blend and turn around or do something. But in this moment right here that they captured in the game, the enemy was already walking away. So when the effect played, it made the enemy turn around, which looked really bad. They should have just played a blast of him getting like from the back or something right here. See that? And that would have looked a lot different. But I can see why they did it, but it's something that I noticed right away when I was watching this, like the effect go boonk and like change and move. There's a lot of effects in this game, and it's not to hide stuff, it makes stuff look cooler. Like if you think about it, all these effects really add to this game. All these like glowing red orb stuff, all this stuff, this sparkle, all this stuff looks really cool, and it really kind of adds to the whole aura of the game. It's pretty sick. I like it. And it looks like it has a lot of potential. Sure, it has a little bugs to work out and kink out here and there, but it looks really cool. Like I said before, the effects look neat. Like when this guy shoots this other dude with this green, poof, that looks cool. I don't know where all this green stuff is coming from, whether it's like the enemy or whatnot, but nonetheless, it looks really neat. It's cool. Right on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Hopefully you are going to check out this game. I believe it's coming out next year. Let's see here. Coming soon with DLSS. You know, so funny. They're pitching all this stuff with NVIDIA, and because NVIDIA is really changing the game sometimes, a lot of people laugh, but they are high-end graphics cards. That's why I have one, and they've been working on this stuff for a long time, and so give them some credit. And they're trying to improve all these games and help us out, you know, us gamers. So they're only making our lives better and making these games better. So I'm stoked. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this kind of trailer and breakdown on Witchfire. If you did, you know what buttons to press. They're down below. I really appreciate all your time and support. If you're new to this channel, I'd appreciate the subscribe button. I just hit 500 subs, which is crazy. That was kind of my goal this year. And so I want to do a big giveaway. So I'll try to make a video on that later. But until then, thank you so much for all your time, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!